Hey there, Joy the World friends and family. I am Joy. I'm here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. If this is your first time here, click that subscribe button down below, baby. It is free as always. And if you would like to be notified anytime I post new videos, just ring the little bell out beside it and they will be sure to let you know. Also share because you care. Titillate those little YouTube buttons down below. The like, the share, the playlist, the whatever, when you begin to move those, it wakes YouTube up and they circulate this video out. Because these are timeless energy reads, they sometimes don't move around as much as others should, but we know everybody needs them. We all know somebody who could stand to see themselves, couldn't they? Get in agreement with themselves and move on forward and begin to be bright and shiny, lifting and coloring our world with their beauty, getting it off of our neck, our back, our shoulders. No more having to tolerate and put up with some yucky energy. We've all had it because it's ignorance. You know, if we knew better, we'd do better. And sometimes we're not so sure and we wait around and we weigh it out trying to find out the confirmation resonance that we need. But that's what these are here for. I'm just a microphone. So anyways, welcome to your Magic Monday. Here we have, coming out of the Mystical Dream Tarot, we have the Ten of Cups. You are cooking something up. It ain't going to be hard boiled, baby. And it isn't going to be hard to come by. It is incoming and it is right on time. Hot and ready, like hot potato, baby. But you ain't going to get burned. No, you're not going to get burned. You have already been burned. This is the time that the soil is regenerating and it's coming on forward to bring in the nutrition, the nourishment, and the life force that is necessary for this greening up, for this growing up, for this moving forward in this glow, okay? So they were talking about the pearl, the seer, and the proliferation of love. I was like, why are so many cards coming out? What are y'all talking about? And it's coming from the pearl deck. You can call it energy oracle. I call it the pearl. So on our top row, let's see, what did they call it? The pearl. Okay, so in the top row, pearl of truth, pearl of wisdom. Well, knowing yourself definitely is a pearl of truth, a pearl of wisdom, because when you know who you are and you know how you operate, you don't fall for shenanigans. Your world doesn't get all turned upside down. You're not having to tolerate fuggery and all that other stuff going on from those around you or yourself or the energy around you, right? Major life lesson. You got to know when to stand up to yourself and to know when to stand up for yourself. That's about it, baby. And it's always one or the other. But here, we're choosing to stand in our truth and to understand who we are. The evidence of this being around Gabriel's head right now means there's a lot going on in the sphere of influence around you, maybe suggestive ideas, maybe even just the threat of worry or concern because of elections, because of riots, because of neighbors down the street, meddling parents. I don't know what you have going on in your world, but you do know what I'm talking about. And you have, or even you've had some bright ideas and maybe people shot them down before and you're needing to protect them. Because if you look closely, you can see this dynamic energy going on around you. It is an opening of the mind, the moving of the muscle of the mind, beginning to work it and strengthen it, not to overwork it, okay? That would be stress or strain, that's out of balance, but being able to work it and move it and bring it in, and you're reiterating that's what we're talking about here. Okay, so we are standing in your midheaven. There is a pearl in your midheaven, love. There is a pearl of truth. So let's get to the bottom of this. It definitely has something to do with what's coming in beneath it, okay, which would be your IC, but it has to do with your feet. The crest, what you're known for, has to do with your feet. Are you a person of action? Inaction? Someone who stands up for your truth and in your truth? I don't know. So let's see what he has to say, okay? Let's see what he has to say about this incoming journey. This journey to know yourself, to stand and walk in the freedom, the full communion with oneself, that there is no shadow of turning nor any separation, okay? It's getting in that divine union here. We're going to use the Tarot de la Nuit. What is going on? Okay, it is not upside down, but it sure is. What is on the bottom is the Six of Wands, your victory. So we could look at this in two ways. That's what they're talking about here. Why they have me pull the bottom of the deck, we will soon find out. But either this is an incoming victory or you're afraid it's never going to come. Which is it? What does it look like to you? What are you choosing to believe? Because remember, we know we have this power of the mind going on here, the working of the muscle. What do you choose to believe? That's what he's talking about. And you don't completely know yet. You partially know, you're pressing into it, you're somewhat sticking with it, and then you're waffling and wavering. That's it. Don't get all stressed or upset with yourself and be like, no, I'm just going to make myself. No. You want this to be heartfelt. That's part of what it's about. You want it to be natural. You want it to be about who you are. And for some of you, this is having a lot to do with your profession. Profession can be what comes out of our mouth, but it can also be what we do for a living to earn our income. You do have earning potential here is what I can tell you. So check out your midheaven. Your midheaven is where the 9th house touches the 10th house. Wherever that is, whatever zodiac sign is in, is your midheaven. I'm a Virgo midheaven, okay? I'm born a Capricorn sun. But my purpose, my gift to the world is coming in Virgo. So Virgo is kind of someone who likes to solve problems and come alongside others. So in this case, this has to do with some crown work. Leveling up into a place that you feel worthy, that you are, it's undeniable and unquestionable the way you feel about yourself. And it doesn't matter. I mean, you can still have this beautiful globe going around your head, but it would be unnecessary. The Chiron would have healed. The Chiron mind would have healed. So our journey card that's right next to Gabriel, we have all these different maps pointing out to where we could go, but she's definitely pointing that she is ready to bring in this card over here. It's the Clouds card of Maxfield Parrish. Again, it's showing us and letting us know that right now you see it out of your reach or impossible or it's never going to happen. All right, this is showing up as a moon mind. Your tree of life is beginning to look dead, but it's actually just a shadow. So there's a shadow of doubt going on for you, friend. May I turn this over and let's take a better look? Okay, so you have the shadow doubt immediately around your mind is quite immense. You're playing with peace. You're toying with peace. You love the idea of peace. You invite peace, but you don't ingest peace. You're not taking on as your helmet of salvation. You're not taking it on into your mindset and allowing it to do its work within. You just have it profusely around you, surrounding you. She's wanting a rune here. So let's find out a little bit more about this piece and maybe why you're not, allowing it in. Let's awaken the dreamer. Actually, it came in like this. Power of permission to dream. Power of permission to believe in yourself. And this dream isn't like la-di-da, the cakewalk up in the head is literally coming from the heart. It's coming from your truth. And Gabriel's lighting up, reiterating that. Talk about your creativity. The power is in your hand as to whether you bring about endings or beginnings, which they really are one and the same. But the attitude that you bring about the ending is how you also bring in the beginning. So we talk about not burning bridges, not using manipulation or other powers or things to coerce anything, but to allow the flow of nature, allow the connection with the divine to begin to bring it in and wake it up. This has a lot to do with desires. Okay? I mean, look at it. That's a steamy look of desire up on that face, and it is wands, correct? Correct? But you hold some power. You hold some evidence down here. You have had victory in one area. That's obvious. And there's still magic there. There's still like a bit of memory like, wow, that was really neat. That was unexpected. You can't make that happen. Those are the thoughts and streams running through your mind. And that begins to wake up the ground in your 10 of cups. The sprouts are beginning to awaken and come on forth because you feel like once you were burned, you were used up goods. It was wasted. It was over. It was done. The moment was gone. But you've already turned up the dream. Imagine all this possible card is open. You're open and receptive to this dream being restored. Now, whether it changes forms, I know not. But I do see that the level is still the same and ever increasing. The ability is there and magic is conspiring. The world, life is conspiring with you to bring in this beauty, this life, and others who value you and who value the same things. Okay, that can be relationships, partnerships, work, whatever. But it's about common unity, community. Okay, so she's asking for a helper card here to get a little more clarity. The Empress. Whoo, you look done in, exhausted from producing. Got a bit of beaver going on, do we? Y'all know how I feel about beavers. I love them. I have beaver wood in my house. I managed to find some last year. Pretty fantastic stuff. But this is the wearying. This is the mental mindset of the modern frame that you have to earn it. You have to discern it. Discern it. Discern it. They're saying don't earn it. Discern it. Discern your power to produce. Discern it, friend. That is the midheaven. Okay. Power to produce. Hold on. You know, I always appreciate your patience. Power to produce. All right. You've been exhausting yourself because you're physically doing so much and you forgot that it's about this connection, this cosmic connection, these waves coming on in, generating, like this is a generator, an I generator, a knowledge of the I am, the leveling up and coming in because you let life love on you. How does life love on you? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What brings you joy? What brings you fulfillment? Those type of things that you're talking about without cost. Okay, they're talking about the basics, the fundamentals of who you are, the radical stuff, okay? She is exhausted. This is you pumping your piece. You've been pumping this and humping this piece, trying to get what makes you happy, and it hasn't been true. They're saying seek the sun. Seek the sun. Seek the sunshine. So let's go into a color card for you, okay? We're going to seek the sun for you here and put a little energy, color magic on this for you. All right. Rose. And they're like, it's way more about the words down at the bottom, Joy. And I'm like, it's the 6. You've been working for a relationship to be worthy of love because this says attract a relationship. Not deserve, but discern. Remember? And it is interesting because we're talking about the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups can be fulfillment in any measure, especially coming from the Mystic Dream Tarot. Okay? But here it's more of this cosmic connection coming on in. And this is, they're talking about on earth as it is in heaven. The same divining that you have with nature, with life, with the world around you, with the energies going on, with your mind, body, and soul, with that balance coming in there is also incoming down here to earth, especially now that you have open to it. I mean, look at the steam up in her eyes. This is you, friend, man or woman. This is you. You're all like hot and bothered, like, I'm ready. And I'm like, no, you still hiding in the shadows a little bit. I know that's your cloak. And you're like, yeah, definitely. I'm hiding out. I'm doing some of the chameleon. I'm hiding out in the shadows. Want to make sure it's safe to come out. Now, she is landing on top of attracting the relationship. Remember, these are energy sessions. We are doing the magic right now. It's not about solving our problems. We're not a problem. We are a solution. So it's about the solving. It's about the seeing. It's about the opening to and the awareness and allowing the energy to come on through, allowing Gabriel to do that work, allowing that pearl of truth to come in. And the pearl of truth here in your midheaven is you are a cosmic lover, a mirror soul, an eternal flame. Okay, friend? Not all this other stuff going around. There's a whole new wave of things coming on in, so let it blow your mind. All right, now with that we have coming in the Seer, which is good because we have help from the Healer of the Ages. This is the gatekeeper, the one who opens the gates. What gates? All gates, the eye gates, the ear gates, the mouth gate. And some of you might have another gate down below if you are a woman. So we've got the guardian of the gates. He has tools all in his hands. He is showing up today as the magician, but also as the victory card. In this deck, there is another card called victory, but he says, you don't need to seek that. I already have it. I bring it with me. I bring it with me and I offer it to you. He's already screaming for a color card. Let's get in here and let's get some color magic on this. Healer of the Ages. Oh, very intent and purpose. Talking about your emanations. Talking about your emanations coming into the center, but this is what is flowing through you, coming out, and wanting to return unto you so that you can receive it. Just like when your voice calls out in a canyon, it hits the walls and it echoes back to you. It returns to you to let you know you are loved, to let you know you are lovable, to let you know you are heard, you are valuable, you are here. You're not just here to work. You're not just here for a purpose. You are a soul and you are here to enjoy, to be fulfilled, satisfied, and loved. Okay? I love this coming as a pairing, wouldn't it be? Right? Mirror soul. That's one of my gifts, y'all, is bringing in the divine coupling. Look at what we have. Profusion. That is what we are weighing in on. We have lavender and silver, 44 and 27. Connect to body, mind, and soul, which is saying connect body, mind, and soul and be persistent. And they're saying really be prolific. Some of you got lots of connections. That's not my business. Some of it's communication. It's not just all sexual, because that lower chakra is intimacy as well, right? Some of you may be forerunners. You may have blogs, Twitters, whatever. And so that's people getting connection to your throat. And if they get connection to your throat and communication, it's also connected to your sacral chakra, your treasury. All right, your secrets, your dreams, your hopes, and your fears, which is why the silver is coming in to coat over this, almost like a lozenge to soothe it, to coat the stomach, that sort of thing, to protect you, because it's a silver lining coming in on those clouds. Okay, so I need to look at the clouds now. Let me make a mess for a minute, because sometimes to get a message, you got to make a mess. To get it all together, you got to see what you're dealing with. And so the healer of ages, the great magician coming in here, the gatekeeper, is bringing us into this 7 of Cups. Are you being served? I know it's sad, but at the same time I'm laughing because I used to watch this British television show right before bed called Are You Being Served? And there was Mrs. Slocum and Captain Peacock. And Mrs. Slocum, she was this old lady with giant old beehive, thinking like B-52s. And she would say, last night my pussy was so upset. That's her cat, y'all. You hear me? Okay, it was funny. But here it's talking about, are you being served? That was a whole different note. Maybe they're needing to open you up with laughter and get you out of this state of being downcast and forlorn, okay? To where it goes beyond thinking, oh, that was funny, to where you actually laugh. And it cracks the bubble, it removes the shroud, and it allows the silver to line the cloud. It allows the silver to line the cloud. If you'd known better, you would have done better. Now, this one standing above you is one that was coming to offer help. This is an energy, but it wasn't always, it's kind of coming as a pan energy. So there's a spirit that you've been listening to that is mischievous, slightly malicious, okay? It loves the energy. It could be a person that you entertain in your field around you, but they kind of stir you up and they love that discharge of your energy. Maybe they like getting you upset, or they like getting you angry, or they like seeing you cry, because when those emotions come out with such intensity, it is a blast of energy, and that's what they feed on. How do I know? Look at the platters around their head. You're feeding their mind. And for some of you, okay, I'm going to talk to you here. Some of you, it is women, and you are feeding their ego. Okay, you're stroking them, you're giving them more and more and more, but it's not a complete divine connection sexually. Okay, that's what we got to say. That's what's going on here. Okay, it can be male or female here about the service, but your heart is bowed down, is been put into a small space, and you've been relegated to think that life is over for you. Kind of like Cinderella, her father had died, the one who had loved her had died. And if you have lost a loved one, my heart goes out to you, especially this holiday season. Thank you for showing up here, friend. And I pray the newness of life and that silver lining come in on that cloud, and you be able to feel their presence again, and that connection be restored, and that joy begin to flow in, not just with that soul, with that being, but also with yourself, okay? And that brings in the delight, the healing, the medicine. Because to me, lavender shows up a lot like amethyst, not just because of the color, but their similarity. They're both profuse and powerful, yet very peaceful. Okay, that's taking us back to the top up here. The exhaustion that you've been experiencing. Some of you may need a little bit of lavender, okay? Lavender lotion on your feet when you go to sleep, maybe up around your collarbones, maybe even on your temples if it doesn't break out your skin, okay? But this, we're backlogging. It's funny that it's kind of a backlog, because this looks like a log of a captain of a ship. Strategy, backlogging. Remembering who you are, before this. And he's saying clearly it's not all up to you. You have help. Because here the 5 isn't about change. It is about the hand extending to help you along, to move you in this. And as a matter of fact, the gatekeeper is offering you both hands. Okay? Connecting with your action and your potential, like jumping you off like a battery, because they're saying your battery, your heart is still good. Your heart is still good. You need to know you might have had some buggery going on around your mind, and you may have made some bad decisions or whatever else, seer. Because remember, this is about the seer, the one who sees. But that changes the way you see yourself. He's wanting you to know, the gatekeeper's wanting you to know your heart is good. Just like your battery. So many times in life when a battery is dead, it's because of one little light bulb or a door being left ajar, a tiny little thing, right? So you're beating yourself up and wearing yourself out over one tiny little thing when all you need is a divine connection, okay? And this can be spiritually, physically, mentally. Remember, I was talking about body, mind, and soul. But when it does, it's wanting to be whole, okay? A whole connection, and that connects the battery, and you jump the battery off. I've never met a battery that could jump itself off, okay? And generally, a battery is able to be jumped off because battery is not truly spent and gone. It is just temporarily dead, okay? Good battery, but exhausted. It was left on. Full stop, all right? And that's what was going on here. You were the only one feeding this situation in this bag full of friggin' lies. That's all I gotta say. I don't know who that was from. That ain't from me, friend. That's from you to you, okay? So just tell it like it is. You getting that off your chest? You getting yourself freed now? All right. Don't condemn yourself for having some emotional charge coming off from that, okay? Because remember, that's what we're doing. We're charging the battery. And so some of that stuff's going to start sparking and arcing because it's been built up in this time that you weren't circuiting and connecting to yourself, empowering your own vehicle, okay? So with that, we now have coming in the proliferation. Sometimes these get a little funny, these tulips right here. We're bringing in the proliferation of love. All right, so our pearl cards, ooh, goody. Maybe you need to tune into some of the Massage the Rubies from last week. It's dated about a week before, like 2 to 5 days before the time that this read shows. Okay, so Michael was coming in to massage the ruby, and that's talking about your power chakra down between your legs. And look what is sitting right beside you here. This is what is sitting right beside you. And we were just left in the last segment to let the silver lining come on the cloud, let the power and the profusion and the peace come on in. Can you imagine peace in that area? Okay. That's where a lot of discomfort stems from, in the busying of the mind, because it's wanting you to connect body, mind, and spirit. Body, mind, and soul, excuse me. So he's holding it here. It's funny. It's a vessel and a pitcher, but it reminds me of these ice cream makers that you can take camping. It's almost like a guinea pigs have this special little ball that they can roll around in out on the floor because they can't do like hamsters do. But anyways, it's this container like that, and it has a metal chamber, and you put ice around it, and kids are supposed to kick it and move it around. It's hard plastic, but it makes ice cream in a short period of time. One, because you use the energy of the child, but also because it that's it. All right. They just suck that other thing right on out because it uses the energy of a child. The battery. The proliferation of love. Some of you, there's a background history of some abuse. It doesn't always have to be touching, just so you know that. We'll talk about here, it can be spiritual incest, and that is not the intended purpose, and it doesn't even sound, seem, or look like it. But if you don't know it, it will keep growing. Remember, there's an ignorance of not knowing, and that's okay. It's going back to this worthiness, because you've been working yourself to no end here in that kingdom, but that is not even your throne. All right. This can occur like in a one-parent home. It can also especially blindly occur in a two-parent home where the parents aren't bonded or connected. It doesn't matter whether they have sex or not. They don't emotionally connect. And if they're not emotionally connecting, sometimes one parent will bond with the child of the opposite sex. And I don't mean any touching. Like I said, on the surface, it wouldn't even seem like it. They're probably not even spilling secrets about their spouse, but there's something about this getting locked up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And it's profusive because it's all these little things that you wouldn't even know. It's just the energy to the depth of that connection, because it is now you being thrust into being an adult when you were just a tiny child. Okay. And that's why relationships usually just take advantage of you sexually. Okay. And there's not that divine connection. And we're not talking about the people. We're not dismissing the people. We're not getting into any of that. This is an energy session. We are talking about you, so you can have abundant life, satisfaction, fulfillment, and not to change the whole world. Just sit here and allow the gate to change. And this is the gateway he's showing me now to your kingdom, to your throne, to your power, authority, and permission. So once you know in your mind that you are not the spouse of that parent, and in your mind, that's all you have to think of it as. Knowing that nothing was really crossed, there was some energy lines that were crossed because you came in alongside them. One parent was probably removed or dismissive or kind of beta, not alpha. Do you get what I'm saying? And then that puts you in this place to keep that parent that you did bond with is the one you're sitting alongside their throne as their mate. And you're like, no, I'm not. I don't see that because there was none of that going on. I can't detect it. But why does this always happen to me that it seems to be going really well? I have really strong chemistry with somebody and then it fizzles out. Or they just use me and it goes out. Or maybe I just use them and I don't want it and it goes out. That's what they're talking about. And it's going right back to this powering up, this mind's eye. So since you're asking the questions, let's go ahead and look at our clouds. Okay. Let's see, when you look closely, can you see? Y'all, they had taught me all this long before this deck came. This deck just came. But do you see what's happening here? Rather than connecting emotionally with their equal, with their partner, they're connecting emotionally with their child. All right? And that is something that is not to be awakened in a child, not that type of love. Not on that vibrational level. And therefore it thrusts you into adulthood right away. That's why jobs can be difficult, paychecks can be difficult, or maybe you only work by the full sweat and the heat and the intensity, and maybe you may have millions of dollars, I don't know, but it's hard applied, go getter, beaver, 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 right? Lots of little bites eventually take that tree out and down. But I call on the energy of lavender here to soothe you, to soothe your spirit, because lavender wards off the scorpion. And Scorpio has to do with sexuality. So it is a sexually charged emotion coming in, even though there is no mindset of sex. And that is what has docked your wings. Because those are the flight feathers, the tips. So really having hump it, pump it work so hard to not sink. Okay? To not sink. But I can see that there's light. There are beings here to help you. And it's the power of the six. The six is coming on in because the six is about others. And what they're really wanting to do is take that energy about others and look at you. Okay? To look at you, because this is what we have. This is what the gatekeeper is bringing in. Not only, let's just take a second, all right? This is what it is looking like to me here. The gatekeeper has your journey to your place, to your beautiness, to your goldness land, to the wholeness of your treasure, your dream, your sacral chakra, your stars. Going on here, pointing and leading and guiding you in the right direction. Look at the color of that energy. Effortless and easy. Okay? Not shortchanging easy. Ease. All right? Not dis-ease. Ease. And this is the gate opening up across the willpower, and the will is getting fired up because you now know. And when you know, you can go. When you know, you can grow. And this is the result. This is the fruit coming in. The three, the divine creativity is realizing, wow, the power's in my hands. That's what it is. Because it's something that just really, it can't be solved. It will just keep hamster wheeling and going round and round. And Michael's like, I'm here to make some ice cream out of that childlike energy, the staying after it, the being determined, the being tenacious. We have made a plan. We have made a plan to bring you into abundance, to do away with the exhaustion, the disconnect, the being displaced from your own kingdom, your own throne. We're attracting Gabriel smiling with that little like, I'll come hither. Y'all. Well, Gabriel, if you want us to come hither, fix the wings. Heal the wings of our imagination. Heal the wings of our mind. All right? Beyond our comprehension. This goes beyond our scope and our ability. But come in and heal that. So they're wanting us to take a look at true heart. Oh, pulled it off when I moved those cards. The Two of Swords. The dividing and the divining of the mind. Wanting to bring it into balance, because this is talking to me about one of the pearls. Bringing it into balance and bringing in your world. When it's in balance, it looks stable, but it is this dynamic motion going around, just like the battery. It looks like it's sitting there just holding on with its two little cables, but there is a lot powering up through there for you, friend. So this may just look like some basic reading and sound like some words coming out, but there's some work being done inside of you. Justice is coming forward. Justice is coming forward and restoring the power and authority to your hand. And this is a fire that warms you, coming from the depths, coming from the furthest depths to the highest heights, being fully connected from yourself to yourself, completely cycling with life and the beauty and the power of life flowing through you. Okay? I love it. I'm excited for you, friend. Remember to leave me comments, compliments down below, or greatly appreciate whatever, okay? Talk to each other down there. I don't even know, but get this thing going, get it rolling. Let me know what's going on with your Magic Monday, Tuesday, whatever day you listen to this on, okay? Also, give it a like if you like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and check back in soon. We are the whole zodiac, so watch whichever ones are calling to you for this week. I love you, friend, and happy Thanksgiving to those of you here in North America. Bye.